Hello. This is Letters to You in 217. This one's called A Larger Alphabet. Dear Ewan, I really want to tell you two things. I can't read because of the glare. I really want to tell you two things. Oh, semicolon. What it's like to learn to read bigger letters and what it's like to meet Jeff. Jeff's the guy I met in Portland when Tom canceled. I went down to film, and a fun way I've found to meet people is look around on the dating apps for somebody who looks nice. Nice means I get an immediate boner, and when I look at them, I think, he says please and thank you and stuff. I had seen him when I was up in Seattle, and then when I got to Portland, he showed up again. I take coincidences as signs, so I got extra excited. I was feeling not sad, but reminder feelings that shouted, "You came here to connect, and if Tom isn't here, you still are." So I messaged Jeff, and he showed up, and he was even more handsome in person, and he immediately had me chuckling. He's so creative. He builds stuff. He built his own house. He built an outdoor kitchen in the yard with a movie screen coming down from the shed that he built. He showed me his paintings. He showed me his collections. He showed me these fake gold records he had made because he thought of a funny band name and then just had to make gold records and framed them. He arts. I've said this before, but arting makes our psyches into paint. The other thing I love, he's handsy. Handsy is annoying when it's unwanted, but Mikey want it. We slept together last night. We couldn't super play because he got out of the hospital 2 nights ago, but we got to smooch and cuddle and sleep. I slept like a baby. That's another sign for me. I felt safe. That's a sign. My brain started making pictures. What if I moved here? He lives pretty far from the city. That's rough. I'd be close to my parents. And here's the alphabet I'm in. My heart is open and my mind is perceiving through the alphabet I know, and that alphabet is inundated with heteronormativity. My mindscape has been with one person equals the greatest equals my body slash being responds like a total arrival, a complete oneness. Now, the null hypothesis is obviously being with one person in love is just the best, but I don't like being told what to do. My hypothesis is that my being is actually just super aligned with Jeff, and that in a different period of time, when two homos were supposed to be monogamous, he'd be the obvious pick. That was a half joke. There was never a time where gay people would be accepted if they were monogamous. We just barely got airtime now. But it's a heteronormative world. All the fairy tales are about two people ending up together. So, what I'm saying is, Jeff opens up the fairy tale love in me. His parents are old too. We could drive around and take care of our parents together. So, all that is happening, and I know I'm not my thoughts. They're not even mine. The felt senses are mine. Felt senses can learn new thoughts to match with. My felt sense with you, Johan, is still the same: spiritual safety, openness, drive to create. But the thoughts matching with it are different now. I see images of never seeing you again. I'm on a porch of a cabin in the woods, staring at green trees and mountains, and I'm smiling, thinking of you. I see images of a friendship. I'm sitting next to you in an immersion and smiling so wide. Right there, I bump a similar oneness as the one with Jeff. Guess there's some wiggle room. But anyway, I think I'm looking for an alphabet I haven't seen before. Once, in a flow online, two women said words to each other, and the tones they used seemed to imply they were debating. I heard the words, but they were talking about different things. It wasn't an argument. They were describing different facets of the same thing. And their faces were pointed at each other, but they were really just describing different sides of this thing. I interjected, I don't think you're arguing. They both sneered, looked at me, and said, well, we know. To myself, then why is the volume of your voices escalating and your phrasing sounding retaliatory? It was weird. I think they were touching a letter of a larger alphabet, a thought that was too big for one mind. I think their tone was because nice tones are generally about agreeing. They weren't agreeing, they weren't disagreeing, they were kind of co birthing. Birth is a fight. I think it was them bearing down. In a world where the only tone for not agreeing is escalating, I'm using vows for what I'm birthing. I'm birthing getting to fall deeply in love with everybody, at least everybody that gives me a boner. That's another half joke. I think my cock is listening at these planning meetings. The vow is no boyfriends, no home, fall in love. I was laying in Jeff's arms thinking he could be the one, and at the same time thinking no boyfriends is my guide. This thought feeling is the clothes my oneness wears. But that old thought is still there. If I avoid thinking it, the felt sense closes. My guess is I'm thinking he's not the one when I try anything else. It's weird. Did that make sense? It's tricky to see my own sense here, so I ask. When I think he could be the one, it's like a key for my door. My linearity has these as a polarity. He's the one equals open, and any thought besides he's the one equals closed. I am sure there is gray here within and between the black and white. I seem quite defiant that I will not lose my grays by default or because the other humans won't understand me in nuance. So for now, I'm tying one option behind my back, no boyfriends until September, to try to read the letters of a bigger life. What I think is possible is love without guilt and love without limit. Love without limit doesn't mean I'm out to collect Pokemon or have a million husbands. It means that I can be in love every second of every day of my life. It might just be with one, but I'll know more after the year. I get to see for myself. Isn't that cool? You'd like Jeff. He's so nice. Headed to film in NC tomorrow. It was an amazing time with my family. Old school circling where a few people focus on one person rhymed with all of this for me. People are often stunned when I point out that to attempt to really be with one person, it might take a few or many people to even begin truly meeting them on their many planes of existence. Night, Mike.